should have been more. And it'll give them the report right through their direct, through the DM. Essentially, it'll give them a PDF report that's yours, and it will continue to chat with them and try to have them schedule a 15-minute appointment with you to talk about buying or selling in this market, right? And this has been tested on a few bigger agents and with pretty good results. There's one team in Ohio, that's the KW team in Ohio. They do this at a pretty high level. They're in a big city, Cincinnati, but they were getting over 100 appointments from it a month. But obviously that's and they were juicing it with paid ads and things like that. So that was like, if you want to put a bunch of money behind it and just do paid ads, you can sort of get a lot of the juice. But an agent in Hawaii was doing this, just doing the report, no paid ads, just sort of putting it out there socially. But they were getting on average about 10 to 12 appointments, those 15-minute appointments a month. Not that they all turn into business, but some of them get nurtured. Some turn into like a listing appointment or a buyer consult. But it would be ideally for you helping, you generate business in the areas and the markets that you want. Two, another workflow we're going to build is which will help you with your database. We all have our phones, right? Our database. We tell you database, right? So what's it going to do is this scout will go into your database and it will look at all your contacts, identify any missing information from phone number, email, social media handles, and it will go out, and I have it connected to various databases, and it'll go out and try to find with a high confidence rate what the actual information is, so that you can actually have more healthy database. If you get a complete database, then we can set up, also the second level will be set up smart plans with it, so that now it's communicating at a high level with it. And then the phone calls that we'll set it up to where it's going to just show up in tasks in your command. This all connects to command. It'll just show up as tasks for you. So every day I'm supposed to call these 5 people and say hi, right? Like it'll just auto it for you, so that that's everything else will be automated. All you have to do with your database is make those phone calls, right? And do those activities. So that's just some of it. There's also, if you have a website, I'm building a new website. But if you would drive people to your website, or even your social media on the ManyChat, we might be able to take their data, IP data, and actually do it in that same recon that I told you about, and pull their data in, so you'll know who's actually clicking on your ads, who's visiting your website. You'll actually be able to get their data, and then you'll be able to market to them directly, right? So these are some of the ways where I can automate a lot of it. Also, in the email follow-up, if you have a transaction, it'll identify if you have an RPA, full executed transaction, and based on that and any counter offers, it will automatically build a timeline for you with all the contingency dates, due dates, and it'll put those in your calendar with a reminder, so that hey, my contingency is due today. So it'll automatically build that for you. So if you think about all these functionalities, these are coming out. Athena will probably be out beta testing for agents. I'll probably have a group of 5 agents test it, but it's probably going to be out by I would say August 15th. In a couple weeks. Then I'll have full functionality. I have the UI, which is user interface, done. I'm building the agent behind it, the AI agent, and the workflow simultaneously. I'm super excited about this. So this will be not like a public thing. This will be only for agents, specifically in the office, that specific workflows that work with command and in the office, right, for our agents.
So, John, is it like launch, you can say, next month?
I would say mid-August. I'm planning to, based on my build schedule. I have a build schedule and timelines. I'm gonna launch it, not total agent wide. I do have to go through probably a 5 to 10 agent iteration process. I need agents that really will engage with it and work with it, because I'm building it, but at some point it's got to get tested in the real world. I mean, I'm testing it myself, but what's going to happen is you guys are going to use it, and then you're going to either break it, or you're going to this is a little bit wrong, or I got an error here. And what happens is you just tell Athena, like, this is broken. And what happens is, as you guys tell it, it hits my side and it says, oh, this didn't work. And then every night we work on a plan to fix everything. And so every evening you give me feedback, it's gonna get better the next day, and better the next day, and better the next day, right? And so after about a 30 days of that, I think it'll be pretty robust to where we can launch it, brokerage wise, essentially. So, and part of the team here and also the ALC people on here are going to be my test because you guys are engaged at a high level. So I hope if you want to integrate this at a high level, that's what you want to do. But this is a specific one to you, and I'm super excited about it because it's going to be very focused on real estate. So it's going to be an expert in real estate. It's going to know business planning for real estate. It's going to know all the car forms. It knows all the DRE regulations. It knows everything. So if you want to ask it a compliance question, you can ask it. It has all the laws, all the regulations in there, as well as you have library. So this is a library. What you would do in the library to make it more yours is you would add in your bio, add in your headshot, add in if you like social media posts you did, snap a picture, put them in there, because what will happen is if you put it in the library, Athena will get to know you better, right? So if you ask it, make me a flyer, and nobody has a headshot in there, you don't have to upload it, it's just going to grab it, right? If you say, I like to talk like this, if you give it text or flyers you do, it's going to make things that you like, but you can all say, hey, make it better, but it's going to sort of know your taste, know how you talk. And if you over time, if you chat with it, know how to talk, it's going to learn your style, and it could start drafting emails better for you and things like that because it knows how you talk, right? So and hopefully it'll integrate. It will integrate with Command, so it could update all contacts, set up smart plans, even set up tasks directly within Command, where you don't have to access Command to do it. It just does it, right? So through prompting. I'm literally just prompted. So super excited about that. Okay, that's coming down the pike. I would say today is July 28th. We have my goal is we have another AI class in 2 weeks. My goal is to try and launch it for my beta testing group at that AI launch. So Chrysler 3 and okay. That is Athena. That is coming up, but I still want you to you guys might be used to this. This is ChatGPT. I'm sure you guys have used this already before. You type in here. This is basic. I do want to go over a little bit basic here. There are different levels of models, okay? And just know when people are like, which one's better? And what happens is actually they're kind of oriented for different. They're both good at what we call coding, which is like building software. But when you talk about what you want it to do, different ones do better. Fable is better, or Claude and Fable is I found better at beautiful things. I want a beautiful website. I want beautiful flyers. I want graphics, those sort of things. ChatGPT is very good at image generation, so it can generate images very well. If I was doing videos, I'd probably go to Claude. If I wanted to do deep thinking business planning, ChatGPT is probably better for that. So I will say, but you want to note this. Right now, the standard is GPT 5.6 Soul. They have different levels. So Pro will put you Soul, and if you go extra high and medium, all that does is it changes the level of how quick you want it. I put Pro, but don't use, okay, there's a paid account. So there's 3 levels of paid accounts. $20 free, well, actually 4 free, $20, $100, $200 a month paid. If you're not doing at least like $100, I would not hit Pro because you're going to run out of tokens. So think about every bit of information that goes to the AI and then comes back, you're charged a token. So if I type a 20-word sentence, it sends 20 tokens there, and say the response is 100 characters back, gets me 100 tokens back, and it charges me 120 tokens for that. That's how it keeps track of how your usage is. So, and you can check your usage. Where's my usage settings? So you can check your built usage here, and it'll show you like August 3rd, this resets. I'm already with ChatGPT at 95% for the week. So like I'm already almost maxed out on this plan for the week. So unless I buy credits or do a resets and pay for things, does it make sense? So, and I'm on the 200 account, so you can see how. But I'm pushing. I mean, here I'll show you. Like you can see like that. that little case thing right there, that holds about that's holding 8 mini computers. There's 3 towers over there, and then I have this studio here, and I have one at the office too. So I have about 12 computers running. So that's why I'm maxing it out. But, because I have different things building. But you don't need to do that. Don't build a data center in your house. Not necessary. So, but just note that eventually you're going to want a paid account. The free account's going to limit you. So the best intelligence is Sol. You can go down to 5.5, 5.3 as well. They're still smart. They're just not as smart. Does it make sense? And you don't need anything. If you go instant, it just is gonna. How's this? The higher you go, the more it's going to think about a good answer. The lower you go, it's going to get you a quicker answer. It's going to respond quicker, just not as deep as research and analysis. Does that make sense? So you want to sort of, if I was just writing emails, I would keep it at instant because it's going to be pretty easy. Does it make sense? But if I wanted to build a website, I'm probably going extra higher pro because I want a student style. Does that make sense? So those sort of things you'll want to do. And you can see create an image is here. And ChatGPT has an image generator, which is fantastic. And you can ask it to, it would just say, hit that create image, and you can ask it whatever. Like, here's my headshot, make me look better, right? You know, take me and put me in a business environment in a suit and make me look better, and it will do it. ChatGPT has a very good, very, very good system for that. If you want to do that, image generation. So, any questions on that so far? So, this is ChatGPT. Now, this is a thing called Cowork. Okay. Now, you can do this. Sol, there's light, medium, high, right. So you can do that. Where's it? Oh. So you can see effort here, but I want to see model, and you can see here, Sol, Terra, Luna. Luna is the cheapest, pretty smart. Terra is sort of the middle. Sol is sort of the high level, expensive. This costs more per token. So if you're doing simple stuff, then just do 5.5. Luna 5.6 is fast, very fast. So if you want to just chat and come up with ideas, Luna is probably the best thing to do. Sol, I'm just using Sol just because I'm doing high level stuff, right? So like this here, click it. I just did one. Turn my current version of my personal stock research app into a concrete implementation plan for phase milestones, convex data, model updates, feature priorities, and next coding tasks so I can continue development. So it's taking, I built an investment thing to track my Robinhood investments that I do just on the side for fun. And now I put it at Sol Medium. It decided it for me because it's building, I put it at a high level because it's building, literally coding, making a plan to code more features into my app. Does that make sense? So this is something you would use a Sol level kind of effort to do. Does it make sense? No. You guys are very quiet. Okay. So while that builds, there's another level called Codex. And if you draw Codex, use cursor. Codex and ChatGPT. So here you go. So Codex is what we call a harness. Okay, just like I showed you Athena, right? This is what we call a harness, meaning it's a way for the AI to interact with you. Now, if we just do chat, like here, it's a website on your browser. You are just communicating through your browser, right, to the AI. But if you use Codex, this is where you download it. Now, there's a difference. It moves off your browser onto your computer, like an app on your computer. So this is the next level. So most of you are here at the chat level. And if you're used to that, it's going to look the same as Codex. I mean, Codex is going to look the same. It's just going to be on your computer. Now, what does that mean, difference? If it's on your computer, it can do anything in your computer. What does that mean? It can see all your photos. If you have an email app in your computer, it can see all your emails, right? If you uh, have credit cards saved in there. It'll see the credit cards. It can execute anything in a computer. Of course, there's guardrails. It won't spend money. So if you download it, you're going to want to put a few rules in there when you talk to Codex, like never spend money. Just tell it, without my approval, do things. But it's
So,
already,
John, is it you
it's
mean
already
like
put guardrails in there. It won't do it. It'll prompt you. There's certain things that'll prompt you. Says, hey, and this is if you misprompt. You may say a prompt like, for example, hey, I want you to make listing data for my new listings. It's 123 Main Street. Just go out, find it, make me a thing. And it may say, oh, I can't access it. So I'm going to take those photos. So I'm going to pay for something to get the photos. But it would stop at that point. It was just a poor prompt. Does it make sense? So you can prompt poorly and it try to solve the problem and then try to spend money to do it. But you don't need that. But you want to download it. This is the next level. And don't worry, they're pretty safe now. I have both on my computer. Where's Codex? Oh, it's over here. Sorry. Let me move it over so you can see it. Can you see that? Okay, so this is Codex. And this is just on my computer. Now, it looks much the same, right? But now it can do things on my computer. And actually, there's a cool thing. Where'd it go? This is really cool. Hold on. Where's the GPT voice? Where's my voice? I did it in ChatGPT. So voice.
John, I have a question.
Yeah.
So you mean like, for example, we have a lot of projects saved in the computer, a lot of information related to our business. It's better to be download the Codex, which can help us.
Well, yes, it is. One reason is, well, there's another reason why I'm doing Athena, and I could set up the same thing I'm doing in Athena, and either I can take Codex and make it super special and share it with you and just say, hey, just use Codex, right? The reason I don't is both more Claude than GPT. What they're doing is they're taking a lot of industry information because they get a lot of information. People prompt them all the time. And then what they're doing is they're building AI systems to kind of put you out of business. So the more it trains on being a real estate agent and knows everything, the better it's going to come out and say, oh, why do you need a real estate agent? Here's your AI real estate agent, right? Does it make sense? And they try to disrupt. They've already done it. There was a company that was contracting with Claude. They're a nationwide marketing company that did digital marketing for them. They contracted with Claude to help them advertise and market Claude. Claude learned everything they were doing because they connected. They canceled the contract, and then the next week came out with a whole digital marketing platform where Claude did it itself, and they put them out of business. Literally, the company went out of business. So there's going to be a fight in the future, and this is kind of, you don't need to worry about it, but there is a fight in the future for data. And you're not going to beat Claude on knowing the national, or Codex on knowing the national real estate stats and stuff. But what you will beat them on is, your community, Natomas, the people in your database that you ever think about it. Every time you do a real estate transaction, the amount of personal data you have, Zillow, Redfin, all of them would kill to have that data, because literally you know their finances, what they want. I mean, the condition of the home, everything. That is all super valuable. And if I take it at the brokerage level, like we, for example, in the Natomas area, we dominate Natomas. Over time, if I track all that data for you guys, we will have a very good picture of who lives in Natomas, what their contact information is, what is likely the condition of the house. I mean, if you think about it, over time, we can beat people locally. So what we have to do here as a brokerage level, as an agent, is we keep our data local. The reason I'm doing Athena is I want to keep our data, literally it's going to be in the server room in the office, right? Like I don't want it out with Claude and ChatGPT, because over time, that's how they're going to disrupt our industry, right? And what I can protect you guys is keep our data local. And the good part is, the more data you guys put in the system, the more this is Claude and GPT, but I don't know if you heard, but there's a new open model. There's a fight between closed models, open models. Open models is free models out there. One just came out called Kimi 3, and it came out and surprised everyone. Free model, so they literally just put it out there for free, anyone to download. Now you can't download it; it's very big. You'll probably need about 4 server racks to just host it, but it is free. But it's like 97% as good as Fable and Soul. So literally, there's a free model out there. So I'm literally going to rework our server room to literally host locally. So that means your data and everything won't even go out to Claude or ChatGPT. It's literally going to stay in the building, literally on the computer, so we don't have to share any of that data. Does that make sense? And it's going to be highly. And then you talk about things like that. So that's where I want to. But right now, what I want you to do is get used to playing with these user interfaces. We call them harnesses, because this is how it's going to happen in the future. And I need you guys to get good at these, working with these, because if you get good with these, then I can, when I give you Athena, it's not going to be hard to do. So you're going to understand it. So when I said workflows. So this is Codex. The difference part about it is, if you see, I can attach files and folders. It can literally grab things. I can tell it, go grab a market report. I put in downloads, put in the downloads folder, and update it, right? And so this is on my computer, and it could go grab it and take it. So the power of this is that it's the ability for you to do things on your computer. Now, what does that mean? Think about it. When you get a listing, do you put your photos, do you save them on your computer, in your Google Cloud, on your desktop, somewhere, right? Now you can just say, take the photos and build a listing. Here's the listing, build a flyer, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, if it's on your computer, it can have browser work. You can download a plugin. We'll talk about plugins that can do browser work, so you can set it up with your Chrome, and now it can navigate websites. So literally, it can go navigate websites. I literally built a financial app. I downloaded a GitHub. I don't pay QuickBooks or any of those, so I stopped paying money. I downloaded a financial app, a free one, an open source one. I cleaned it up and made it more secure. And literally, I have an agent just go, and I have Plaid. What's that? Anyways, I have it connected, and it pulls my data and categorizes it for me. And then if it can't figure out what to categorize, so literally, I haven't done I don't know about you guys are behind your finances. I did my, obviously, the brokerage, but my team and other things, my finances, I was way behind on, like months behind. I just put all the data in. It looked at the categories, asked me a few questions, and then just categorized the whole thing, reconciled the reports, and did it. And that's because it's all on my computer. It literally, all the reports are there, everything's there, so we can grab it. So this is where the power of putting it on your computer gets stronger, because it can grab any files on your computer. And then we're going to talk about memory. You should create a vault, and they'll do that, where there's one. It's very important that you have, the AIs can get very confused. So it's very important that you do what we call a vault, which is on your computer. You just make a file and you say you ChatGPT, you can call them GPT vault, and everything that you want GPT to see and use, you put it in that folder. Does it make sense? And that way, GPT will treat that folder like it's what we call a source of truth. Like, if it's confused about something, needs to answer questions, it's going to go there first and look, right? And so you can sort of keep it to their level. But I want to show you the power of it. For example, I was voicing, I was building just through voice commands. This was literally about 20 minutes last night. I was playing with Codex to show you guys. It built this website. I was just building a website for the brokerage, say, hey, let's revamp our website. So you can see the quality of this website, and it was built in about 20 minutes from voice commands through Codex. Makes sense. So actually, I don't even know if just agent details. Oh, it's not connected. So you can see the power of the ability to do Codex. You would type in Codex, and it will give you a download button to download it onto your computer. Now let's go a little bit. I'll do a little bit of training on this. There's a thing called plugins. Plugins are apps that you can connect to your
So John, did you attach the bank account with your finance? Did you attach the bank account, your bank account with your finance app? So then you
can't
can.
connect a direct bank, but you could do there's apps that do connections between banks. So Plaid, Link, there's a few apps out there that you could do that would connect the financial data if you want to see your finances, get personalized. So just be careful. Oh, Stripe. So Stripe is accepting payments. So if you wanted to like charge things, I wouldn't do initially finances right off the bat, but if you want, Assad, we can talk about it, because I would recommend, it gets obviously very sensitive. I don't know what you use. So if you have QuickBooks, if you have a very prominent app out there, they probably have you do what you call an API connection. You can probably just connect it directly to the system and it can go look at it. And within QuickBooks, you can connect it and download transactions, but you'll have to pay the monthly fee. I was tired of paying the monthly fee, so I just went to, there's a free resource where all the open source is called GitHub. I went there and said, go find me. And I told my app, go find me 3 financial free GitHub repos. They're called repos, which is open source, basically coded apps that someone said, hey, this is cool, try it out. And so I said, go find me 3 that could work for my businesses. And it found me these 3. I recommend this one. So I downloaded it, and then I said, make sure the code's right. I literally told it, go look at it and make sure the code is okay, right? Like it's not broken or anything. So it cleaned up the code. And then I said, hey, is there anything for secure? I know it's on the computer. I just don't want any security issues, data leaking, whatever. So I said, oh, I recommend these security fixes, fixed it. And I go, okay. And then I don't even log into the system. I don't even know how to log into my financial program. I just do it through my chat. Like I can show you here. So this is the power of it, literally. Where is my Discord? So here's Discord, which is where I chat with them, and I have an accounting tab. And look, it gives me a weekly scorecard. It's telling me, here's JBRG, here's Cap City, these are answering business that I have, like gaps, automation. So I have a channel just where I talk about finances with it. And every week it goes and grabs all my data and gives me a weekly report and then says, do I need to categorize? But literally this week, it knows so much about me, it didn't even ask me to categorize anything. It knew what all the charges were and automatically categorized it for me. It just gave me reports. Does that make sense? So this is the power of it, to where if you get it set up correctly, and I have this in Discord just because I'm using a different app, so I'm doing a different harness, a harness that is local, not ChatGPT or Claude, which is called Hermes. I wouldn't recommend starting there. It's very techy. You have to set it up. But and I have it all connected through Discord, so I have some to help my task. Health. Here's my health ones. It knows my health. I have a checklist that I do for all my health every day. I don't even decide my workouts. I told it I want 3 strength workouts. The other ones are cardio. Here's my equipment I have. Here's where I am. And here's what I do. And I just did a workout this morning, gave it my treadmill printout. It says done. Okay, great. It's tracking things for me, right? It told me what my workout was supposed to be today, right? So it can power a lot of your life. So if I want to think about it, is what are all the mundane tasks in your life that have a defined beginning and a defined outcome? And if you can do that, you can actually automate it through AI. And I recommend you do that, but you can do that through plugins. So if you're using apps already that you like, plug those in. They're scheduled tasks. These are beautiful. You don't want to play with these. These are ways, these are called scheduled tasks or crons, they're called, but these are ways to make it automated. Does that make sense? This is ways for you to schedule things that repeatedly happen one thing I recommend is you do a daily brief. What is that going to do is set the time, I don't know, whenever you get up, 7 in the morning, whatever. And it's going to do a daily brief. And if you connect your email to it, you connect your calendar to it, right? Imagine you do that. Imagine you have health set up, you have your finances set up through it. Imagine all that. Now your daily brief, it says, I want to know the top 5 emails I need to answer that came in the last 24 hours that I haven't responded to. I want to know what my workout is supposed to be this morning based on my plan we discussed. Every week, give me a updated, financials based on my bank accounts. Like you could literally set the morning brief up so it just tell me any calendar conflicts I need to resolve today. Like you could literally set it up to where it happens there. Email monitor, agentic AI architecture. You don't need to. This is if you're hosting, if you're actually coding things, if you're actually building software and apps. That's what you said. Here's Sacramento CBD market. See, it knows me, and it knows I do commercial real estate. So it's like, hey, why don't we build a scheduled market update for commercial real estate that I make for you? That literally it'll make me a commercial real estate update, market update every month, right? So that I can share it with my people or use it. And look, it knows I own a brokerage, so it says, why don't you do a brokerage recruiting content? Like it's just making these up. That's how smart it is. So I want you to understand that scheduled tasks. Libraries are things you save in there, and also new chats. If you want, okay, here's a trick I'm going to show you. There's chats, which you just chat with it. Then there's projects. Projects, if you wanted to have long-term memory, that means it's going to be an ongoing thing you work with over time. Don't do a chat. Chats will lose memory after a day or two, meaning whatever you chatted in there, it'll remember the text, but if it worked anything and did anything in the background, it'll forget that. If you don't want it to forget it, you want a long-term pack, you want to do projects. Projects make it remember. If you put files into the project, it'll remember the files. It makes sense. It creates memory. So if you're going to do a long-term thing, so Assad, if I was doing finances and I was trying to set that up, I would make it a project, not a chat. Does that make sense? Because you're going to want something that more sustained long-term that's going to work with scheduled tasks. If you can have scheduled tasks within a project, so sort of things like that. So it's important to understand how these things work. They're going to empower you to have better results. Okay. Any questions on that? I threw out a lot at you. Mohammed, do you have questions? Carla, Ara, Gurpreet, Alyssa?
Lots of information.
So, if you're used to just chatting on ChatGPT or Claude, that's fine. You're probably using a free account. Just so you know, if you use a free account, you're getting a lower quality version of AI. They're not going to give you the best. They're just not going to give it to you.
So John,
a dumber AI. So if you're like, this AI doesn't work that well, it's just because you have to pay to get the higher level quality intelligent AI. Yeah, Gurpreet, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So the Chat GPT Pro is the the way to go to kind of build with.
It depends. Okay, let me tell you this. Claude and Claude Fable, which is their best one, is very good. It's very good. GPT Soul, which is their best model, very good. They're actually on the benchmarks. There's benchmarks. They're kind of like right there, maybe a little bit different, but they're all kind of right there. I just like GPT Pro because they give you a lot better bang for your buck. So like, how's this? I showed you, I'm at 95% usage rate for the week, or 96% now, 95% for the usage rate. I get a lot more. If I was doing this on Claude, I would be toast in a day or two. Like for the week, like day 2 of the week, I'd be done, right? So Claude is much more expensive. But I will say this, if you look at Claude, where's Claude? Where's my Claude? Claude? Where'd you go, Claude? Oh, this one. Yeah, okay. Come on, come on. So this is Claude. And Claude is great. It does, and you can see the same thing: projects, artifact schedule, dispatch, all the same thing. They have a design lab, which is pretty cool. So that is one thing that Claude has that GPT doesn't, but sorry, I lost you guys. Okay. So, man, sorry. Oops. Anyways, God damn it. Sorry. My computer is being difficult right now. Okay, so let me close this one. There we go. Okay. So okay, here we go. Sorry. Okay, here's Claude. This is the download program. There's Claude Code. Claude Code is good for coding. So what do I recommend you? Code. If you're not going to code things, I would stick to home, which is co-work level. But you can do things here. There is this thing that is pretty cool just to Claude, and it's called Design. And it's pretty cool. Design is like you're designing something. And you can see mobile apps, slides, documents, wireframes, animations, mock-ups. It is, like I said, very good at design. Claude is. So, so if I am making an app like this, mobile app design, this is design. It's not building the code. What it is like, how does it look and feel? Does it look neat and professional? Does it look nice? All those sort of things. I first go here. So if I was building an app, first thing I would do is I want to build a mobile app. I would come to Claude. I would make a design that I like, what the buttons look like, what's the color scheme, how do they look and feel, how does it function? And then I would take that and I would go to ChatGPT because it's cheaper and code it and do the backend code on it. So when you say, Gurpreet, what's better? It sort of doesn't really, I don't matter. Does it make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. So
Yeah, it does. Thank you. I mean, like, it depends on what you're looking
what you're doing, and I would say this: I do most of my conversation in GPT just because it's cheaper to run. You will get a lot more bang for your buck, if that makes sense. Claude is very expensive, very good. So very good, but very expensive. You're not going to get a lot of bang for your buck for that. So I consider it, it's more like, if you think about it, Claude is like Apple and ChatGPT. Both quality is more like PC. PCs are cheaper. Now, if you want super pretty and nice, that's Claude, but it's going to cost you more money. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Just because I do a lot, I have multiple computers running, I tend to use GPT just because I need more bang for my buck and the quality is similar. Does it make sense? So that's where it is. Hopefully that was helpful. So, but I recommend that you get on one of these, either Codex download, or if you go to Claude, I think they call it desktop, but it's on Claude desktop. You type that in. You're going to want to download Claude. Oh, see, it's going to download Claude. This is, and it'll put what it's going to put is a desktop version Claude on your computer. Pick one or both. I have both on my computer. It doesn't really matter. They can exist side by side. But then I would start playing with it. Right? It's going to look a lot like the GPT. It's going to look a lot like, your thing. Makes sense? So, but it's just going to be on your computer, which is super valuable. Especially if you're going to talk like Assad, finances, things like that. You're going to want it on your computer, not going through some cloud connection out there, right? You want it there, right? So, and that keeps the data on your computer. And if you look at Claude, sorry. It's much the same. It's chat and tap projects, artifacts, scheduled tasks, customize. This is where they have, you can customize it. Where's the plugins they have? When you do customize, plugins are in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Skills, connectors, plugins. So skills, let's talk about skills. I didn't talk about skills. Skills are how you make it smarter. Make sense? There are skills that you buy. It may create its own skills. So, for example, if it knows you're a real estate agent in a real estate business, it's probably going to make a skill that learns how to do real estate market analysis, right? And it's going to make a skill so it gets very good at that. Does that make sense? So it remembers how to do that. So there's skills that you can download that make your thing smarter. For example, so when I'm building my agents, if I'm having an agent that codes, I tell my agents, hey, give it skill, go look at the skills depository, give it skills that it's gonna need to do coding this website really well. Does it make sense? And so it'll go find skills and put those skills in there. It's basically like you're just adding, like, I learned Kung Fu, right? I learned karate, right? Like, you're just plugging those in so that now it knows how to do Kung Fu and it knows how to do karate really well, right? Does that make sense? So those are skills. Connectors are much like plugins. Connectors are, different. Connectors are higher level. They actually integrate. What does that mean? That means you can do activities in the chat with those connections. So, for example, they have Slack, HubSpot, Gmail, Calendar, Drive. So it's integrated in there. So you can actually do actions. That means because it's connected, you can actually in your chat say, schedule a noon appointment. I just got a listing appointment at noon at this address. Schedule and put it on my calendar with for tomorrow with a 1 hour, reminder, and this is the email of the buyer or the seller, and send them, also invite them to that calendar. And you could do that in your chat, just prompt it. Because it's connected in the system, it has access to it, right? It'll just do it for you. Does that make sense? Super powerful. Same with calendar, those things. So those are connectors. Plugins work similarly, but it's not integrated like a connection. It's more like a Wi-Fi connection, so to speak. Does that make sense? It's there, but it's not in there. So instead of connection, there's going to be rules. So when it's connected, it means the AI has full capability in that app. Whatever you can do in that app, it can do everything in that app. When it's a plugin, it is plugged in, it's connected, but the plugin has rules. There's going to be rules on the app side that says AI can do this, but it can't do this. So whoever the plugin makes a plugin, it's going to determine what it can't do and can't do. And the AI is restricted from using everything within the app. Does that make sense? So those are plugins. So some people don't like plugins. Here, you can browse plugins. So, for example, so small business, design, marketing, engineering, data, finance, sales, PDF viewer, legal. So these are things that you want to give your whole Codex or ChatGPT system. You want to give it big apps, not just skills, but like apps. You want to give it a PDF viewer. You're in sales. I wanted to know sales. I wanted to know prospects and outreach and things like that. It's going to give it lots of background. And essentially what I'm doing in Athena is I'm building these plugins and connector. I'm building these plugins for you guys that are highly specific to real estate in your business. Not even just generically. It's going to know California rules. It's going to know Sacramento rules. It's going to know all that sort of stuff. So it makes sense. So I can make it highly specific to you. But I do want you to play it in Codex and things, because obviously there's things you probably don't want to put in Athena, like, for example, I don't know, but like, I have a relationship tracker I built it in there, and I don't know but if you're at my level, you got to maintain relationships. And so literally I have, like, here are my top 25 connections. I need to make sure I maintain them. I say I want to at least have a lunch with them once a quarter. Like, I do all these tracking, even with my kids and family. So, but that's probably something I don't want to put on my Athena, my business one. I really want to put it on my Codex or ChatGPT because it's local to me. Does that make sense? So there's some things you're going to want on your local, and there's some things your business on Athena, and some things are there. So something we're buying. Okay. Plugins. I think I did that. Did I miss anything? Memory. Oh, memory is good. Memory is important. This is how it remembers things. So if, for example, you're going back from Codex and GPT, you can import things. So sometimes I'm doing a big project in Fable and Claude, and I'm working there, and then I want to now put it into GPT. So then I would grab it all and say import data from Claude and grab it all and put it there. So essentially, they know what each other's doing, so I can not have to repeat myself over here, and that's importing data. So, and those are contacts. You can see I have Hermes, which the agent, so it already knows a lot of memory. I tell it where my memory is. I have a file on my computer, so it knows where to grab stuff and find stuff already. So that way, that is setting up your memory. It gets a little technical. I hope it is. There's another thing that's super powerful. It's called Claude in Chrome, which is here. Add websites. You can enable Claude in Chrome. If you enable Claude in Chrome, Claude can go on a website and navigate your mouse and keyboard. It can click on things. It can type things. So theoretically, say, for example, it could log into your bank account online because it can manage anything on the website. It can log into MetroList if it wants to, right? So that's the power of Claude Chrome settings. If you don't want Claude doing that, then I would turn that off, which would prevent it from really going outside of your computer. We call that a sandbox. So if you put it on your computer, it's really stuck on your sandbox. If you give it Claude Chrome, it can go outside of the sandbox, so to speak. So, woo! Okay. Questions? I gave you a lot of stuff. No, you guys are all super excited about this. Okay. I know you have questions. There are no dumb questions on this. I throw a lot at
So
you.
John, I have a question about what is the difference between library and project?
Okay, good question. Projects are things you're building long term. So, for example, if I was a real estate agent, I would say, I want a project. I want to make a social media calendar, and I want you to make images, posts, and reels for me based on my social media calendar. That makes sense? And I want to do this weekly. Does that make sense? That would be a project. It's not a chat. It's not like, hey, figure this out. That is, I'm ongoing. I'm doing it every week, all the time. Now that's a scheduled task. No, that's work, but that's a project. Okay. Library is reference material. So think of it like the library. Think of it like library is when you tell Athena or ChatGPT or Claude to do something, it looks there first. It doesn't go on the internet. It looks there first because it wants to know you. Does it make sense? The more you have in the library, or in Claude is called artifacts, in ChatGPT it is called library, and Athena I call it library. I just like that because artifacts is kind of a technical term. But they're all the same thing. It's just a place to put a repository of all the things that you have. For example, like here you can see. And here I have Blade Me Market Lease. So this is a company commercial real estate. I was doing a lease. They sent us a lease to review. I put it in the system to review it, a lease analysis. And I put it in the library because I want to train ChatGPT to get good at analyzing commercial leases for me. So that in the future, when I give it another lease, it already knows what to look for. Does that make sense? So these are like libraries. I would recommend you if you're going to build a library and you really want it to be for you and your business or even your personal life, I would put as many things in there as possible to get to know you. I would give it access to my email. It says, read my email, understand how I like to talk and speak. Make sure that when you draft email responses or draft social media posts, it talks like me, right? And then I would say, look at my calendar, look at my priorities, understand what I like to do, what I do regularly, right? Here's my family. I like to go out, like this sounds stupid, but like I have a goal of going out with my wife every 2 weeks and going on a date, right? Like I'm still married, but like do a date with my wife just to remind me so I don't forget, because marriage is hard sometimes, especially with kids. It's not, you got kids, it gets a little distracting, right? So I literally have it, and so it knows that, and it knows on the previous dates I've been on. So I have it go out and recommend things that we should do, but if I already did it, it knows not to recommend those because it's already in my library. I did it. Does it make sense? So the library is super powerful. So I would put social media posts in there. If you have open house flyers you like to do, I would put open house flyers in there. So that way it knows what you like. It knows what you're doing. It knows you. And the better you can give it, the more stuff you can give it, the better. The better. Like literally, to help me with my business, I literally went into MetroList and pulled up all my sales history. It only goes back like 5 years or something, but I pulled up all my sales history 5 years. Said, here you go. Here's all the address. Here's everything I sell. You can see my patterns. Look for patterns. Look for things I do well and don't do well. Right? Like literally, you can have it analyze your business. I put all my business stats in there. Like literally, if you go to command in your report sections, you can pull a thing called your multi-year trends, and it will show your production over the years, like up and down. I would print that report or download that report, and I put it in there because it will know your business. Then it will know, hey, you kind of suck in the fourth quarter. What are you just like not doing business? Like, do you just check it for the holidays or what? It's going to know these things because it's going to see your production, right? It's going to know how you do things better. It will ask you. So when I told it, says, look at my things, and then I said, based on my GPT, what I sourced everything. So I said, all these transactions I did, where did the lead come from? Like, where did the lead come? How did I find that business? And it literally tracked it, and it's made a business plan. It says, you're really good at this. You should do, this is how we do it better, right? So it can actually business plan for you better the more you give it the library. And that's the thing. If you don't want to get to ChatGPT, that's why I'm building Athena. You can put it in here, and already I'm going to build some stuff in it. So Assad or Mohammed or Alyssa, or Capri, if I was giving you this directly, I would give it to you. I said, Assad, what I'm going to do is already have it on the backside. Go grab Assad's production, and it's already going to put it in there, right? Because I already want you to know this is already there, so that it already knows your business, right? And well, it'll know it from a production standpoint, but it'll say, and then you could have a chat with it. I want to teach it business planning chat, so you could do business plan like. It knows how real estate works. It knows how lead generation works. It knows follow-up systems. It has scripts. It has all the KW models and systems in there. So it's going to know, and it's going to say, okay, based on this, and it's going to ask you a few questions. It says, I recommend that your business should look like this. What are your goals? I recommend we do this, right? And it's going to recommend you do this and try to build you a weekly calendar, even a daily calendar that helps you do what you're supposed to do, right? And tell it restrictions. I tell it like, hey, I want to work max 6 hours on my business every day, max. I want to create my calendar that does that. So you can literally restrict it to the time. I know, so you got kids all over the place. So I'd be like, hey, I'm going to dedicate 3 hours to my business daily. And this is when I want to do it. So let's line up my business so that I do only the activities I need to do to hit my goals during those 3 hours, right? Let's schedule that out, right? So it can be super powerful for you if you sort of give it your world. And trust me, I spent like 3 weeks just grabbing. I have 5 emails now. I like grab all 5 emails, read them all, right? See where I respond. Right? I gave it my full Google Drive. Here's my Google Drive for my business. Here's my personal Google Drive. Everything, right? For example, it was Mother's Day recently. I gave it everything. All my photos, everything. So I said, I want you to make a card. It's a card, PDF card that I can fold. I want to be able to have me and my kids put some messages on the bottom of it, one on each page. And I want photos over the years. I want her when our kids were young, when our kids were teenagers, and now. That makes sense? And I want a full family photo on the cover. And it could do it. It literally went and found and said, what do you think about this? I said, no, different photo, this, and it did it. And it made a card. And literally I did it like in 15 minutes because I had access to all my photos. Makes sense. So you can see the power of it if you just let it in. Don't worry. So sorry. Hopefully that was helpful. It is 11:28. We are 2 minutes to stopping here. So I wanted to, what I recommend for action. Hopefully my goal is by the next AI class in 2 weeks, I'm going to be giving you guys beta testability to Athena. So I'll hopefully have Athena working. I'll do a little demo and say, okay. And then myself and Taylor in the office will work with you personally to get your Athena client, beta client in there. We're going to have some instructions for you to, if it doesn't work or broken, to let us know, within the chat so that we can fix things as we go. Just know it's probably, I'm getting it as ready as I can. I'm testing it all over the place, but you will find errors, you will find bugs. But that is the point. Like, find bugs, help me get better. And as we get it better, it's going to help you generate more leads. It's going to help you be more organized. And I do want to end it with this. ChatGPT is not, or AI is not going to replace the agent, but it is going to do either one or two things. It's either going to make, I can tell you, and Zillow and Redfin and all these companies, they are trying to make an AI and turn you guys into peons. Basically, they want to capture most of the commission, and they want you to just to open the door, sign the paperwork, and be there for the physical part of it that AI can't do, and give everything else. Similarly, there's going to be, and the other caveat, and I suspect both will happen. Both will happen. The other part of the industry is going to be hyper local agents, great agents that have great knowledge, and 80% of the administrative work that an agent does is going to be done by AI, and your specialty is going to be advanced knowledge. So, for example, that Blade Meat Market, that lease, my client, I did not tell her to do it. She went and took the lease and went to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT says, I'm concerned about these 17 things. She sent me the whole 17 list, says, John, I have these questions. I could tell it was ChatGPT, and I said, good. She's like, yeah. I go, these 11 are wrong. They're just not accurate. Here's why. ChatGPT was just wrong, right? I go, it doesn't understand California real estate, commercial real estate. And I go, these 6 are accurate. These 3 are not really a concern. And here's why. These 3 are real concerns. Let's have a discussion, right? So your clients are going to AI before they think about selling a home, before they think about buying a home. I guarantee they're having discussions with AI. Okay. One is, you're going to have to be more knowledgeable than AI about real estate and locally. You just have to be. The agent that's going to be in the future powerful is going to be an agent that can be the source of truth even when AI is there, right? Does that make sense? 2, you're going to have to understand relationships. Even if AI is there, in the end, they're going to want a human involved in that transaction. Either it's a peon with is getting paid hourly with Redfin, or it's someone who's really making a commission because they're very good at relationships or good at management. So the agent of the future is going to be more like, think of it like a financial advisor, right? Someone who has high level fiduciary managing things, great advice. The real estate agents that are independent and powerful, that are going to be at brokerages doing it, are going to be there. And then the agents that can't do that, they're going to have leads handed to them, and they're going to end up working hourly or for a little bit of money at Zillow, and it's going to be like a job. You can decide what you want. Obviously, as a real estate brokerage, I'm here to empower you to be great agents in the future of this market, but you have to opt in. I can't opt in for you. You have to opt in, right? So that's up to you and how you guys want to proceed. But I perceive the future of the market kind of bifurcating like that. And actually, there's examples. Lending is much like that. There used to be a bunch of different lenders, but because lending is very uniform, there's 2 big guys, Rocket and UWM. Those are the 2 big lenders nationally. They dominate. I mean, they're like 90% of the business. And the other 10%, which is still big, is done by hyper local, like Joe and Golden Bay Mortgage here in Natomas, which we're partnered with at the office. They're hyper local. They do a lot of business, but they're Sacramento, they're Natomas. That's what they do. And they win because of that, because Zillow and all those other guys can't win super locally. They can win like nationally, they just can't win locally. If you win locally, you're going to win. So, sorry, that was a little heavy. Sorry. but I just want you to know the future of real estate is trending there. The people who predict fast change is around 2 years. Real estate is very highly regulated, so I don't think it's going to be 2 years. I think it's going to be more like 4 to 5 years before that happens, but the change will happen. What I'm trying to do with Athena and all this stuff is I'm trying to get you there 2 years early. Make sense? So I get you there 2 years early, 2, 3, 4 years early. Guess what happens? Your business blows up. And once you have the relationships, and we keep the relationships with you, and the AI can help you make great relationships and keep them there. And there's a bunch of other stuff I can tell you to help really charge your business up. I don't want to overpromise hype this, but there's a lot of stuff. But if we can get that plugged in now, you will have literally a 2 to 4 year, 5 year head start on all your competition. And the best part is AI will get smart enough eventually, and I think AI will get smart enough to where everyone has the same intelligence. It's just smarter than humans, and everyone has it. The only thing that will differentiate you in the future is you have the relationships. They know you, they don't know someone else. And that's where we have to win right now. It's you got to get hypercharged on making sure your database is strong, your relationship with your database is strong, and that we're constantly growing that database. We're making it bigger, 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 hyper local, hyper to you. That's how you beat Redfin AI and Zillow AIs. You're super local. And then what we do is we keep your transaction data tight, and then we use it to keep them in a flywheel. But essentially what's happening is there's a fight for the consumer. The good part is when you do a real estate transaction, you get all their data. So we get all their data. What you have to do is I want to help you get into move services. So right now when a transaction closes, you're like, hey, congratulations. I want to move you into move services. I want to move you into other services. I'm working with our insurance provider, contractors, people where you can give discounted services to your clients who closed, and you can get a residual income on those because they're not RESPA compliant. I don't have to mess with RESPA. You can get those residuals. And if you keep those financial relationships with the client through the 5 to 7 to 10 years that they own the home before they sell and buy again, they're not going to go to Zillow and Redfin later. They're going to go back to you because they're so interconnected with you and your AI going forward. And if you keep that flywheel going, your business gets materially better. Literally, it's just getting better and better and better over time. So, sorry, that was a lot. Okay, I appreciate you guys. It's a little over. Sorry about that. 6 minutes over. If you have any questions, hit me up. My phone number is 916-202-4602 if you want to. I am your broker owner. Well, I call Lisa if you have compliance questions, but I'll handle really bad things if you get there. But I am your AI arbiter right now. I'm going to pull you into the modern cutting edge of AI, whether you like it or not. But please engage. Please plan to be here in 2 weeks. I'm going to go over Athena and how that works, so that then we're going to literally give it to you. And I'm going to want you to take some steps. We're going to give you some steps for you to integrate yourself and your business into Athena. And then I can start generating leads for you and start organizing your database better. And we can start making things a lot better in your business and save you a bunch of time. Imagine a world where you can do your whole business and it's a robust business in 2 to 3 hours a day.
That'd be nice.
That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. And that's the point of it, is AI can do literally, I literally mapped all the tasks, 70 to 80% of things that agents do daily for our clients and lead gen, all of that, whatever we do daily are administrative, mundane tasks. Only about 20 to 25% is actually not, which is your phone calls, your meetings, your conversations, the inspections, right? Those are not where you're doing human contact. The rest of it is all admin work. I can literally get rid of all the admin work and you just do the human connection, right? So, which is actually what you're good at. I know you guys all like the human connection. You don't like doing all the paperwork, so let's do that, right? So, all right, you guys have a great day. Have a great week, and I'm here for you if you have any questions. But please, 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 pick 1 or 2. Download Codex or GPT or Claude Desktop. Please get it on a computer. Start practicing with it. please, please, please. It will help you a lot learn things. Oh, one last thing, reverse prompt. If you don't know what to say, you don't know what to tell it to do, you're trying to do something, do a reverse prompt. Biggest skill you're going to learn. That means ask Claude or GPT, like, I want to write a prompt to set up a social media calendar system where you do you do research, create posts for me, and we do 3 posts a day, a week, and I approve them. How do I write that system and prompt? And just tell it to write a prompt, and it will write a prompt for you, and then you copy and paste that in. Does it make sense? It will write the prompt for you. So if you suck at prompts, use reverse prompting. I use it a lot. Like, I don't know how to write this prompt accurately. This is what I'm trying to do. Write the prompt. Right? And sometimes I do 2 or 3 versions of the prompt. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Copy, paste, run it. And now your API, the AI is doing exactly what you want. So remember the skill, reverse prompting. It will help you greatly as you navigate AI. All right? Woo! Love you guys.
Thanks.
Hope you have a
John.
great day, great
Thank
week.
you. It was
Okay.
great.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.